And hello, we are live here at Rockwall Ford. More than just a game, this is Rockwall County Game Day. I'm Chris Pena, James Branch, Chris Moore. Kevin Wingfield will join us later in the show. We do have some special guests coming on with us around 5:30. As you can see, the YMSL Special Olympics. So they've got a cool project that they're working on, an event that'll be happening October 18th. So we'll catch up with them and talk about what they have going on, Rockwall Ford, and there's a bunch of sponsors that help out with what they have going on. So it'd be really cool to catch up and see what's going on, and give some athletes that don't have an opportunity to have their time to shine. We'll have probably maybe one or two athletes I'm hearing come on and talk about some of the events that they will have going on. They've got like 150 athletes that go over 10 events in this event, this tournament that's going on October 18th, I believe it is. So we'll talk with them. As always, if you are having trouble hearing us, we've got some broadcast issues, please chime in on the Facebook feed there and let us know so that we can get that fixed for you. Man, lots going on. So, yes, we're going to have the YMSL/Special Olympics on around 5:30. Then around 6 o'clock, the guys and myself will jump in and we'll kind of recap 6A football week 6. Talk about some things that we saw. I know you were at the Roy City Forney game. Obviously, you were at the Rockwall Longview game. I was there for half of the game. I had a huge event that was at Rockwall Golf and Athletic Club that started on Wednesday. We have this. We have pretty much every club that I know of. They'll have like a member guest tournament where they come in, and I've been a member at that club for probably 8 years now, and the first few years, it was just a member guest tournament. Some like you, if you've ever gone to play in some kind of charity golf tournament or something, some scramble, carts are lined up, people go, and we just have a good time. There's lunch and whatever. Now it's blown up into this full-on event that they've got these grandstands that overlook the 18th green with DJs, and it's everybody's. If you want to know what pressure golf feels like, it doesn't matter your handicap. If you're a 30 or you're a +4, when you have a 100 or 200 people on some grandstands just cheering and booing at every single shot and giving you a hard time if you mess up. It's one of the nerve-wracking things, but it's an awesome event, and they raise a lot of money for some good charities out there. I think we raised probably 160,000, I think, wow, at this tournament, and that doesn't include some of the silent auctions, and I was there for the dinner Saturday night for just a few minutes. We had to get back home, and boy, they were raffling off trips at like 6 to 20,000 a pop. They're just going off. So it's a real shout out to Rockwall Golf and Athletic Club and CJ Brock, who really is a member there, who heads up the committee for the member guest tournament, the staff and everybody involved. It was a really cool deal. I don't have anything to report other than we went from third place to last place on the final day.
That's the wrong direction, Chris. You got to go the other way.
It's the tough. When you play, and this isn't a brag at any point. When we get put in the championship level, because my partner's really good, and everybody up there is really good. These golfers, you can't make any mistakes, and when you do make mistakes, things go south really quickly. And
well, if you need somebody to help bring the team down, I'm sure that you got a couple guys.
So are you blaming your partner for bringing for?
I did plenty of that in front of everybody, but if I look myself in the mirror, I think I kind of brought them down this weekend. I wasn't on my best, but we excuse me, we had a heck of a time, and it was really fun. So some other things to talk about before we jump into the show. Give out shout out to Jet Williams, former Heath Hawk, the Mets. He's in town. I saw him over at 7AR when I was earlier today, and he's giving some infielding lessons to a young man, and then I think he was going to go over to Heath and give some infielding lessons to some more stuff. So he's going to stay busy doing lessons and things like that. I'm sure he said he was going to take a break from baseball as far as training until November, which is probably earned. Those guys play a long, brutal schedule. But it was good to see Jet back home, and he was at. He's really good friends with Josh Hoover, TCU. He attended the game against Colorado, and had
what a game that was.
Yeah, just had a fun time. He said over there. So some things that I wanted to touch on, because we're going to we're a few weeks late, but we're going to touch. I'm going to throw up. These are some volleyball standings that are. This was before last night's games go on. You have Rockwall Heath, and they beat Forney. They sweep Forney last night to go 7-0 in district. And if some of these records are wrong, I apologize. I get these from Max Preps. I had some different records when I was looking at Dallas Morning News. And then I went to Max Preps, and they were totally different. But I'm pretty sure I got the district records correct. If anybody has something different they'd like to chime in, certainly you can do that. They play each team twice, so they're on the back half, the second round in district. And Heath Hawks, they're on. They look good, undefeated. Of course, you got Rockwall. I don't know their result from North Forney last night.
They won. It was, I think, 3-1 sets.
Okay, yeah. So Rockwall right on their heels. That I-30 Classic volleyball match between Rockwall Heath and Rockwall is going to be huge.
It'll be another big one.
That's going to be huge for district. So we'll find out when that is, and I'll make sure that I'm there for that. So that's going on in the world of volleyball, which we'll touch on more. How's everything else going, guys? It was a long, fun week. I know, not on the football side for Rockwall, but we'll talk about that game.
We'll get to that. We'll get
to that game. Yeah. But how's the week going for you guys so far?
Good, man. Everything's great. No complaints. It's just one of those kind of weird weeks where you're just kind of going through the motions and working your way through. And I didn't intend. Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to make the game on Friday, but ended up making it, and then it was a good time. And good Lord, man, Forney is so hard to navigate through town, and the parking and the stadium.
Too many people out there.
Holy Moses, and that game was packed, man.
Yes.
So left a little bit before that game was over, but because I just couldn't imagine being there when everybody else left. Unreal, but so, yeah, man, I wish I had more to report for the week, but, man, things are just moving along. Harper is they're playing 2 games a week. They changed their schedule a little bit. They're playing on Fridays and Sundays.
Okay.
So he had a tough schedule. He was in Seguin Friday night, back on the bus Saturday, back home to play on Sunday. And then the week before that, they flew to Colorado, flew back to Dallas, played, and then drove. And so they've been on a brutal schedule the last 2 weeks.
The life of a college athlete.
Yeah, just a brutal schedule the last 2 weeks. But I think now they got some lag time, so they're good. But, yeah, everything's good, man.
It's hard to believe fall's going quick, fall break next week. I know Rockwall schools have fall break next week. I think Roy City does too. And, it's
Yeah, my daughter, she was like, what are we doing for fall break? And I was like, what do you want to do? She said, I want to go to Hawaii. I said, oh, we're going to make that happen. I said, we're gonna get, I told my office, I'm going to get some the VR headsets that we have.
There you go.
We're going to find a Hawaii tour, and we're going to go to Hawaii, and we're going to experience Hawaii during fall break. That's about as close as we're going to get at this time of the year.
A lot of good places to go in fall break, for sure.
Yeah,
a lot of people travel.
It seems like it just started even for college because, I was talking to Harper last night, and he said, hey, I'm just getting ready for, midterms, and then and the semester's going to be over in a month and a half or something like that. It's crazy, man.
Are you guys Halloween fans? Do you decorate for the different seasons?
Halloween is not big at our house, but I would say every other season. Christmas is always big, so November 1st, decorations will go up. Our family loves Christmas, and that's everybody's counting down the clock.
Yeah.
So we did jellyfish lighting.
Okay.
So now we can celebrate every holiday.
There you go.
And so
Easter.
So the answer is
Halloween.
Kind of, sort of. We pulled in from dinner last night. Katie says, I'm going to change the lights. So now we got a whole week of nothing but Halloween lights going for now until Halloween's over, and then we're going to change it to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I like to go all out for Halloween and Christmas. Next show, I'll get a picture of what our house looks like. But my dad was huge in these Halloween and Christmas. I think, you go to my parents' house in Christmas these days, and I think they're up to like 12 Christmas trees everywhere.
Yeah, we're not that big.
Yeah, and I think we got up to 7 last year. But Halloween, my dad would make our garage. He would make it a haunted house, and my uncles and everybody would go in. And one year, my uncle's laying down, and they've got him dressed, and they've got like this bowl, like I remember, like, and it's just like spaghetti, and like he's like, and he's pulling out like
awesome.
Things like that. And so I like to. My dad passed down a lot of his stuff to me, which my wife loves. She loves when my parents pass down all their stuff to me. But we've got a coffin outside, and all sorts of zombie stuff going on, and so I'll post a picture of stuff like that.
I will say I have good intentions, but I never quite get to the finish line.
Yeah.
So I'm,
Well, we
Halloween
have
lights
this year, the I-30 Classic. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
we'll see how that plays out in the community. I think there's some plans to do some things on Wednesday night and Thursday night. But,
okay. All right.
Yeah, that's the funny thing
Big
is when are we doing trick-or-treating around here? And everybody's like, on Halloween? Like, when are you going to do? But this year's a little different. I've made it known on our community page, because my community is kind of new. We live in a community called Montera out in Fate, but it's Rockwall. Half of it's Rockwall, half of it's Roy City. But I'm like, well, if I think a lot of people are going to be going to this I-30 Classic deal, and a lot of people are like, what's the I-30 Classic? And we're like, well,
right.
all you got to do is come to Rockwall, the stadium, Wilkerson, and find out, because it's an experience. Even if you don't have anybody in football playing football right now, the I-30 Classic is an experience, and it's just fun. And you got 2 good teams they're going to play this year, and typically they're good, and typically they're good games. Sometimes they get a little lopsided, but
the
this
game
year
always means a lot for playoff seeding, and with the schedule the last year and then this year with it being on the end of the season, it's just even bigger.
But it's amazing. The what you just said is amazing, of how many people are new to our community that don't know.
Right.
Whether it be the I-30 Classic or another game or football or whatever. It's just amazing, all the new folks, and that a lot of them just don't know.
Yeah,
right?
and that's why you have to still talk about it as if people don't know, because yes, there's a lot of people that grow up, Yellow Jackets or Hawks, and they understand it and they know it, but there's a lot of people that don't understand what it is, especially if you just moved here.
Yep.
Of what it means, and if you can embrace it and you can have fun with it on your side, whether you're Rockwall or Heath. It's a fun week. It's a fun atmosphere, and we'll talk about that game as it comes closer.
Sure.
But the respect that the athletes on both sides give each other is awesome to see, because many of them know each other very well,
Yep.
and our friends. So yeah, so we'll.
Well, our neighborhood is interesting because I live on the golf course in
Mm-hmm.
Stone River, and they do the golf cart parade,
Mm.
and they go around. Instead of the kids walking, they do a golf cart parade passing out candy, and
Okay.
then there might be a few that have adult
Yes.
treats as
Adult
well.
treats. Yes.
And so, sometimes that gets a little fun. I don't own a golf cart yet, although I'm trying to talk myself into getting one.
Yeah.
I still haven't talked myself into it yet, but I'm working on that.
Yeah, they're fun. I don't own one, but I know a lot of people that do. If I lived in the shores, I would somehow, some way, I would
Yep.
find a way to own one. Okay, so we're going to take a break here in just a second. As I mentioned, coming up next, the YMSL/Special Olympics. They've got a project that they're working on for an event that's coming up October 18th. They are here. We're going to catch up with a few folks and give them their time to shine and find out what they're all about and talk a little bit about their event. They've got over 150 athletes that compete in 10 different events coming up October 18th. Yeah, let's catch up with them, guys. These two will be back shortly after we are done with them, and then we're going to jump into some football and sort out the week 6 that was, and then kind of preview week 7. And,
Big week coming up.
It's every seems like every week. So it's crazy how it's working out this year. Chris Pena, James Branch, Chris Moore, Kevin Wingfield will be here shortly, but I wasn't going to make a new graphic taking his name off because it's
He's here in spirit.
Got to go to a whole new program and
Right.
just whatever. It wasn't going to happen. We'll be back. This segment brought to you by Rockwall Ford. Don't go anywhere. Thank you for tuning in. Share the page. Share the show. We'll be back. One, and we are back. We are live here at Rockwall Ford. This segment brought to you by Wrench City Power Sports. Mr. James Branch, who's over here, is a big supporter of ours. Oh, look at that. See, I already messed up. I had this all set, and then what do? I don't do it right. If you give me just a moment, I'm going to fix this because I had some good information at the bottom of the screen here. Boom. And boom. How about that? All right. So, okay. We're here with the YMSL. They've got a project, the Ultimate Gift Project, that they're working on for an event happening October 18th. And first off, thank you for joining us. It's always cool to do things like this because we want to make sure we spotlight people and athletes that are doing different things all over the place. It's not really, we're Rockwall County Game Day, but we'll stretch as far as we can go anywhere just to celebrate what young people are doing, what people are doing to highlight different athletes. We're talking about Special Olympics, and then things that you guys are doing out there in the community to better people and just to make a positive impact. And so, thank you guys for joining me first off.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We've got Kathleen as acting vice president at the Heath Harbor chapter. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So first off, tell me a little bit about the YMSL, if you can.
Sure. So YMSL is actually a national organization. So we're part of the Heath Harbor chapter, and it's an organization that from 9th to 12th grade, mothers and sons can serve together. So we work with different organizations, such as Special Olympics, to go out and serve in our community, those organizations.
And how long has this been going on in the community? I mean, we're not talking about just Rockwall. I mean, I saw there's going to be athletes from Plano, Louisville, surrounding areas. How big is the chapter overall? When you say national, like how big is it
Sure.
in this area?
Well, Special Olympics is a little bit different from the Young Men's Service League. So our Heath Harbor chapter is a relatively new chapter to Young Men's Service League. But I believe Rose can answer this better. But you guys have been in existence for 30 to 40 years now?
We started in 1986.
So since 1986, the Special Olympics, as you said, that serving those particular communities has been in existence.
How important is it to get the young men and volunteers, and moms involved in this, to spread the word?
Well, it's been awesome for us. So each year we actually do what we call the Ultimate Gift. And so we try to select an organization to work with within our community. So we've done different organizations throughout the years, but we've been partnering with Special Olympics for the last few years since we started this particular chapter. And so the young men love working with these athletes. And so it's a really fun time to get out and get to be with them and learn from them, because these are serious athletes. Like they're serious about it. So we're learning alongside them, especially with disc golf being relatively new.
Yeah, disc golf. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun sport, and it is a sport because anytime you're doing some physical activity, there's always those courses are really fun, and throwing those discs to those cages is quite challenging.
Yes.
To say the least. Let me ask Ryan. I'll start with you, Ryan. What do you get out of this? What do you enjoy about spending your time doing this?
Well, all I can say is that I just think making a difference in the world is something that I've always strived to do ever since I was little. So I'm glad that we're partnering up with Special Olympics. And, I grew up with disc golf ever since elementary. And just being able to teach the athletes how to play and stuff is just really such a gift.
Are you good at disc golf?
I'd say I'm all right.
You're all right.
So,
yeah. You can brag a little bit. I love to brag on this show, so it's okay if you brag a little bit.
Absolutely.
Where do you go to school? Where are you at?
Rockwall Heath.
You're at Rockwall Heath.
Yes,
okay. You doing something like this and serving the community, just when you're out there with these athletes and you're showing them, how much personal satisfaction do you get out of things like this?
Definitely a lot. Like just seeing all these kids with just big smiles on their faces, just happy to be there. It's just really, it's like life changing.
What year are you at Heath?
10th.
You're in, okay.
Yes, sir.
You're a sophomore. it's a little early to learn some life lessons, but if you're learning some cool life lessons, what do you take away from this?
I'd say just I don't know, just being the change that you wish to see in the world is definitely the life lesson that I live by. So
Yeah, not enough of that. Yeah, not enough of that. What do you play any sports at Heath?
I was doing basketball for a little bit.
Okay, all right. So, but serving in your community, it's one of the most important things you can do is give your time to other people, and especially those that need it. So it's really cool to see. I heard there's 10 events that will go on, and I'm sure maybe they can speak to a little bit more. But do you focus just on the disc golf part of it?
Pretty much.
Well,
Yeah.
for this one we
so.
do, but no, that we have other things. So they'll have swimming. Rose can elaborate a little bit
Yeah.
more, but there are other events that we also participate with Special Olympics, so it's not exclusive to disc golf.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Anything else you'd like to add? Looking forward to the event that's happening on October 18th. Obviously it brings a smile to your face when I talk to you about it, and that's really cool. Just when you're an event like that. It says from only 10 a.m. to 12 is kind of what I read, but how much work goes into it leading up to it to get there?
Definitely a lot. Just kind of teaching them the ropes and just
Well,
showing them.
And I think for this particular one, I think it's actually going to be longer than that.
Okay.
So is the event longer than that? I think it's from maybe 9 to 2 or 9 to 2:30 that day. Okay, the actual competition does begin at 10. Okay.
Yep.
So Rose can elaborate a little bit more on that particular part. But yeah, there's a lot. We'll have a DJ. I mean, it's going to be a fun, good time event. And
And
a lot went into the planning of this.
And it's in Plano, is that correct? At Chase?
It's actually going to be at Fox Chase Park
Okay,
here in
Fox.
Rockwall.
Okay, here in
yeah, so
Rockwall.
across
Okay.
from Presby Rockwall there.
There you go. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll definitely get some more information. Fox, a local thing. People can get out, and October 18th, that would be a Saturday. I'm assuming?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, a Saturday, so people can get out and support this event. And Rockwall, this is such an awesome community that so many people go out for so many events and support it. And this is just another one that people should put on their calendar to go out and support. So congratulations. It's awesome to see young people getting involved, and not only getting involved, but enjoying it and trying to make a difference. And that's really what it's about. So congratulations to you. Let's move over. Dane,
Yes,
sorry. Dane, sometimes I forget my own name up here, so it's okay. Sometimes I've even on the graphics, sometimes I'll put my name in the wrong spot. So Mr. James Branch can attest to that. Dane, tell me a little bit about how you got involved with the Young Men's Service League.
So ultimately, the moms are the biggest coordinators in all of this. So they're going to really make sure that we're promoting a good future for college and everything. And so that's one thing that looks really good. And going into a Young Men's Service League, you kind of think of a lot of things as, these are big service projects and they kind of feel like service. Our ultimate gift this year, it's just a lot different. As much as I love doing service projects, this mainly feels like you're just going out there and you're going there to have fun and you're collaborating with these people. It's definitely awesome.
The ultimate gift. So why the name? What's in the ultimate gift?
So the ultimate gift is usually one organization that we focus on. Typically, so it's going to be like our biggest one. So we've done Arms of Hope before and other organizations like that. For example, one place that we go to is called Feed My Starving Children. So we go there and make food packages. This one is mainly going to be our one focus. So we have a primary focus on each year, and I would consider this one honestly to be more friendship than anything.
I'm assuming ymsl.org, which is on the screen. People can get more information from that, and they can go and they can get involved. Is there kind of an age range where kids, like these two gentlemen here, can get involved? Do you like to see them be in high school, things like that?
Yeah, the requirement is 9th grade, so
Okay.
that's the age that we typically start, and then they do it through their senior year. So it's a 4-year commitment. And again, it gives mothers and sons an opportunity to kind of, serve together and spend some time together before they're going to go off into the world. The other unique thing, too, about the Ultimate Gift, it was actually based on a book. So there's a book and a movie made about this. And so that's kind of where the concept comes from. But Young Men's Service League as an organization has tried, like Dane said, to dedicate a lot of focus, because we work with a lot of organizations, but this is like our main focus where we're really going to put more serving hours into this particular organization this year.
Why the need, you said Heath is a new chapter. What was the driving force? Was like, okay, we need to bring something here.
So we actually had a Rockwall chapter, and the great news is we have a community that wants to serve, and so they actually had filled up. They only allow a certain number of spots, so there was actually a need to add another one so that we could continue to, help. And again, these organizations, they need people to go out and serve with them too. So the need's there, so it's great that we're able to help.
Yeah, and when you say membership, like it's full and things like that, are you always actively seeking new moms and sons to participate?
So each year we do an annual recruitment. So yeah, every year we're trying to bring that next class in.
Very nice. The event with when working with Special Olympics, just from your end, how much fun is it? Overall, just to these things are a lot of planning. They're a lot of hard work. But once you get to the event, everything's done, and now it's just about having fun and making sure that the participants are having fun and meeting the goals that you set. What's it like for you once you get out there and see it all happening?
Oh, it's awesome. And again, we've got some incredible athletes. I think they're going to be coming up here to talk to you in a couple of minutes, but they're amazing. So just seeing those smiles and actually getting out and just having fun, it's a great time.
Anything else before I let you go that you want to mention about what you guys do? Any other events that are coming up? Any way for people to get involved when you're not recruiting and things like that?
Well, certainly, if you guys go to the ymsl.org website, there's a ton of information on there. I would encourage people, if this is something you're interested in, and you don't have to be a part of YMSL to go out and work with some of these amazing organizations that we do. So you could even use that as inspiration if you're just looking for somebody to partner with, like Special Olympics. It's a great opportunity to just go and find some of those organizations. You don't have to be a mom and a son to do this. Anybody can help. Well,
there's a lot of cool information. This is a lot of fun, and I appreciate your time. Congratulations to you both. What a great way to start. Learning how to be an adult and learning to give back, and just the entire process. It's not something we see enough, and sometimes even now, like if we didn't have this opportunity to talk to you, I wouldn't know about it. And so it's cool to be able to use our little platform to maybe inspire another kid that's and mom that are upcoming to maybe try and get involved. So congratulations.
Well, and thank you. We appreciate you so much for highlighting this.
Yep, really cool. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We're going to change headsets. We're going to bring on Special Olympics, and we have a couple of athletes. I see the medals there. We'll talk with them, and we'll talk about the event that's coming up on October 18th. Don't go anywhere. Chris Pena, Rockwall County Game Day. We'll be right back. And we're back live here at Rockwall Ford, and we're joined by Daniel here, who's an athlete. We got Letha and Rose. Rose, I'm assuming do you serve as a coach or kind of a mentor? What's your role?
I am called what you call a head of delegation. I basically am the person behind the scenes who does all the scheduling and communication with my athletes. I also coach many of the sports that we do. We offer 10 sports right now.
And what did you say your title was?
Head of delegation.
Head of delegation. I'm gonna. That's my wife. She's head of delegation. I'm gonna give her that new, my wife, that new title, head of delegation. Rose, before I get to the athletes, partnering with the YMSL and having this event, how important is it to give athletes this platform and a stage so they can go out and compete and have fun?
Okay. Our organization is a community-based organization, all volunteer. So there's nobody involved in our organization who gets paid to do it. Everybody's a volunteer. Many of our coaches are parents. Some of them are not. But without volunteer organizations like the YMSL and the other organization in our town is NCL that provide volunteers for us, we couldn't do this. They help us run practices. They help scrimmage against our athletes. They provide mock competition for our athletes. Our athletes look forward to working with them. And like they were saying earlier, our athletes greet them with a smile.
Yeah.
They love to see those high school kids come out and be part of our group.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, and I know they do. I know it's a big. Sometimes during basketball season, when they'll have the basketball scrimmages, and you'll see some of the Special Olympics. I'm assuming that's
us.
Okay, yes. It's a really cool event, and it's just so cool to be able to give these athletes that time to spotlight, to play in front of these crowds, in front of their hometown and some of their peers and things like that. So, yes, it's really cool. When you talk about 150 athletes and that'll be at this competition, this tournament that's coming up here on October 18th, and 10 events, what are some of the events that go on besides maybe disc golf? You got swimming and things like that.
We offer aquatics.
Okay.
We have 6 basketball teams. We do volleyball. We play soccer. We do track and field. We do cycling, pickleball, disc golf.
Pickleball's in the house.
Yes, pickleball's in the house. Pickleball is another one of those new sports.
Yes.
It's just getting started and is taking off like wildfire. Let's see, bowling, bocce. We just returned from Midland, Odessa, where they competed in swimming at the state level and bocce at the state level. And that was last weekend. We were in Midland and Odessa.
So not just local. You give these athletes the opportunity to go and compete around the state and things like that. That's awesome.
Yes, we even have 4 athletes who have qualified for nationals, USA games in Minnesota next summer.
Wow.
We have 2 athletes who are going to play on a unified soccer team, and we have 2 athletes who are going there to swim.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome. I want to ask you. So we'll start with Letha. Letha, thank you for joining the show, and you've got the Rockwall disc golf shirt on, and you've got a couple of medals. What events do you participate in when you at say October 18th when you're going to? Is disc golf your event?
Yes, I do. I do disc golf, and then I do basketball, volleyball, and track. And
how much do you enjoy just playing with your teammates and being involved with other people that are just having a blast and just having a good time with all this?
I do have a wonderful, fun time. I'm meeting new friends. And
how long have you been involved with the Special Olympics here in Rockwall?
I just started this year.
Yeah. Okay.
And was a volunteer last year with my daughter, so.
You're wearing your medals as you should. How cool is it when you get to put on a medal and be rewarded for your hard work?
It makes me very proud and happy, and say that I did it.
Yeah, you should be proud. Yeah, sorry, I got. This is a little emotional for me. Like I'm touched by it, and it's. The cool thing about sports is it just kind of gives us an opportunity to come together And it doesn't matter what your skill level is. It doesn't matter, if you're playing. You don't have to be playing on TV or anything. It's just about the moment and learning some life lessons and enjoying your time with your fellow teammates. And so I'm sure it's something you're very, very proud of.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, well, congratulations, and thank you for coming on and sharing your story with us, and good luck to you on October 18th. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
you're looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Daniel, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about what sports you like to compete in.
I like to compete in basketball and swimming.
Okay. And basketball, basketball is such a popular sport. I won't pretend to know a lot about swimming. I shouldn't even pretend to know about basketball because he'll tell you my IQ about basketball is pretty low. But I do know the goal is to score. And so when you're out there on the basketball court and you see one of these shots go in, just how much fun is it for you? Just being able to compete.
A lot of fun.
Have you ever had an opportunity to compete at the halftime shows at the basketball games?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And who? Let me give you a chance to shout out. Do you have any teammates that are you just have a lot of fun with that are on your team?
I have Scott, Leonard, and
Scott does a lot with the Scott's the football. He does a lot with Rockwall football.
Yes, he does.
Hand
Yes,
the
sir.
ball boy and things like that. Yeah, Scott's somebody who I love. Scott, he comes up to me and says hello and very respectful every time. These events. How much training do you do to get ready for tournaments like these that are coming up on October 18th?
a lot.
A lot of practicing.
Monday and Friday night for disc golf.
And okay, tell me about disc golf. Throwing that thing, is it not one of the hardest things? It's not
No.
hard.
Yes.
Not for me.
I don't.
It's only hard when the weeds get in the way.
I've
Yeah.
done it a couple of times, and I can honestly admit I've never one shot hit it. So it's taken me a few. So I might have to take some lessons from Daniel
Yes,
here.
sir.
If you can teach me, that would be great. Swimming. How much do you enjoy being in the water and just competing in there?
A lot.
Yeah. That water can be cold. And I'm not a big fan of the cold water. Does it bother you?
No.
No, not at all. See, Daniel's got it figured out here. He's a true athlete. He's just going to jump in the cold water. He's going to figure out disc golf, and he's going to play some basketball.
Yes, sir.
The medals you have on, earning those medals. How much fun is it to have a medal put over your head?
A lot.
A lot. Do you, and this year, when you get ready to compete for all your sports, do you get nervous at any of these events?
No.
No, he's got no nerves. He's got no nerves. He can jump into any water, and he's good at disc golf. So,
Yes, sir.
Daniel, I respect you, and
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on. Rose, just people that could get more information. I'm assuming there's a website out there, just how to get involved in different events and things like that.
You can find us. The Special Olympics website is sotx.org.
Okay.
Okay, but we also have a Facebook page, SOTX-Rockwall County.
Okay.
And so that's probably where you can find most of the local information, but most of our information goes out word of mouth.
Got it. There you go.
know,
Yeah.
Our athletes get out there and they see somebody who's not participating, and they're like, why aren't you playing? Why aren't you playing basketball? Why aren't you coming to practice with us? And that's how we get a lot of our athletes.
Very cool.
And it's a great network for parents to visit with each other and learn things that they need to know as their athletes get older. Most of our athletes are adults. We do have some school-aged athletes, but the majority of them are adults now. They started, Dan started when he was 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
Started when I was 9.
Wow. Congratulations.
So
Yeah.
he's been with me a lot of years.
Very, very cool. We're definitely going to have you on again because I know Scott watches this show. and he's going to call me out for not having him here. He asked me about 3 weeks ago. He was like, "Hey, when are we going to get the basketball team up there?" And I said, "Soon. We'll make it happen. We got to get through some football stuff."
He worked today. That's why he's not here.
Okay, but we'll have to have you back out because Scott's a friend of the show, and we've got to make sure we can let him come up here. And he tells me, and I've seen him play, but he's a competitor, and he loves to compete. So we'll make sure that we get you guys back on. So thank you very much for your time, Letha.
Yep.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Daniel.
you.
Good luck, Rose.
you.
I appreciate the time, and thank you for coming up and letting us share a little bit about what you guys do. And good luck to you guys
Thank
on
you.
October 18th. And we're going to figure out a way to get out there and promote what you guys have going, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to let them go. When we come back, we're going to talk a little 10-6A football. We're going to recap Week 6. Really fun stuff. Thank you guys for coming. ymsl.org. You can find some more information. The tournament here in Rockwall on October 18th at Fox Chase. Is that Fox Chase? And then I'll get a website for you that I can put up on the screen so people can find some more information about that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Chris Pena, Rockwall County Game Day. We're live here at Rockwall Ford. This segment was brought to you by Wrench City Power Sports. We'll be right back. One. And we are back. We're live here at Rockwall Ford. This segment brought to you by Open Air Wealth Management. Time to talk a little 10-6A Week 6 recap. Boy, that was fun. That last segment there, that kind of got me. Kind of choked me up there a little bit. It's just this is so cool that we get to do things like this, and just hear stories. Scott was actually sending me messages, and I just saw them saying I'm watching. Scott, shout out to Scott for watching.
Well, it's
and
really unfair that you're making us follow them. I kind of feel like we should just go out to dinner and go home after that, man. They look like they've been on the show forever.
They did really good.
I feel kind of threatened, to be quite honest.
Yeah, Ryan and Dane, the two young men that are giving their time to this, they spoke really well.
They did.
And you can tell that they love what they do. They love giving back to the community. So kudos to them. Okay. 10-6A. Let's talk. Let me just throw up really quickly because I know these are kind of for us. These are the Dave Campbell's top 25 6A state rankings that came out this past Monday. North Forney stays where they're at number 13. Longview moves up to number 15 after taking down Rockwall, who was number 17 at the time. And then Rockwall Heath makes the jump from unranked to number 22. I kind of feel like, again, these rankings are more for us just to talk about. I thought the Longview Rockwall game was competitive enough and close enough to where you give Rockwall the benefit of the doubt to maybe still stay in there, despite that being their third loss. But when you kind of take into account who they've lost to, it's been 3 really good ranked opponents, and it's been 3 very competitive games. But they are what they are, and you see them. And, of course, we'll talk during the Week 7 preview about number 13 North Fernie versus number 22 Rockwall Heath later on. But these are kind of, as we approach Week 7, here are the current standings. North Forney 2-0, 6-0 overall. You got Rockwall Heath and Longview 1-0. And Forney 1-1, Rockwall 1-1, Royce City 0-2, Tyler Legacy 0-2. And these it seems tight, but when you look at the games coming up and you look at how competitive this district is, it's pretty important, these wins. As you can see, North Forney, they've got Heath, as I mentioned, this Friday. Longview has Forney. Rockwall is off this week. Their next one will be a big one versus Forney. Royce City has Tyler Legacy this week, and so it's a huge game for Royce City and Tyler Legacy, no doubt. I mean, that's going to be repetitive. We're going to say, it's a big game for this team, whichever team you want to pick out this week, because it is. Each week's going to be massive as we go down the schedule. I want to really quickly also look at some big-time performances in Week 6. You have J.O. For the running back for Forney, 307 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. The Forney quarterback, 277 passing, 3 touchdowns. You've got the Forney wide receiver, Preston Jackson, 145 of the 277 yards went to him. Legend Bay has been on these since I've started doing this. It seems like he's on there every week. 255 total yards, 4 touchdowns. The running back for North Forney, he's been on there a couple of times, 147 yards and 1 touchdown. This young man, the Royce City quarterback, 330 total yards, 3 touchdowns. And then Brent Rickard for Rockwall, 229 total yards, 1 touchdown. Some big-time 6A performers in the DFW area. I don't have all the information from Longview and Tyler, although I did have a little bit on Longview, but I got to stay consistent here and just talk about what's going on with these DFW teams. So let's start with a game that you were at, and I believe you were at the Forney Royce City game. We talked about how big that game was for those two teams because of their schedule and who they still have left to play. We felt like, okay, they're one of those teams that are sitting on that bubble at the moment that we talked about last week. Kevin, I'll start with you. Just your thoughts coming away from that game last week.
Well, I was impressed with Royce City. I really was. That is a good football team, and they are only going to get better. I love the quarterback. Not much on the left tackle that was sick most of the game. That was something comical to watch. I hope he was all right. He's just a little out of shape. But I think that from watching from my side, Forney kind of played around with them in the first half to see what they could build, and then they made adjustments in the second half that Royce City did not. Because if you notice, we would some of the plays that were ran in the first half, there might have been a little tweak to it in the second half. But when you've got a running back like J.O., I mean, I've told you guys 100 times how much I really, really enjoy watching this kid. I'm glad you got to see him in person, and I even texted you. The kid runs hard. There's just no quitting that young man. He runs, and if you hit him, you better hit him with everything you've got. But back to the Royce City side, I really, really, really think that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think, like you talked about, they're a year early, but that quarterback's legit.
Well,
they have got some size on them that I haven't seen in a high school team in a long.
Well,
they've got long view size.
It was a very competitive game through 3 quarters.
It was.
Yeah.
It was the fourth quarter where Forney pulled away and scored 23.
I think that's where they just wore them down. Just pound, and then throw the bomb. And that's what happened. They were ready for the run, and they found that opening, and then the long passes, it just got to them. I think they just got a little tired there towards the end, but they're going to be a good squad.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was kind of a weird game, throughout. I'll tell you, the stands were packed, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, they were packed.
Yeah.
But we knew going into the game, we had said they got to keep him from – we knew he was going to run for 100 yards. We just couldn't let him run for more than 200, and he got 300. So they prepared. Royce City's close.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're very close.
They are close.
They're very close.
And so –
You're going to see them in a lot of games.
Yes.
They're going.
I still think Royce City will play spoiler in this district before it's over.
Yeah.
They're going to beat a team that nobody really sees coming.
That they weren't supposed to, right?
And that's really going to make some differences in the standings.
Well, I think this week is hugely important for either Legacy or Royce City, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in a few minutes. But this is going to be a game where somebody busts through. They get that 0 out of that column, and they get a 1, and I think that could help kind of bust whichever team it is bust through. But I'll tell you what. So I got a shout out to Coach Colvin's wife, Miss Colvin, and her parents, his in-laws. I sat by them. They watch our show every week. And let me tell you something, man. Every time Royce City broke a game, I was sitting by her mother, his mother-in-law, and every time Royce City did something, she was hitting me. I
want to make sure you saw it.
Man, they were into the game, dude. It was awesome.
That's fun.
It was so much fun, and to see football is just so much bigger than just the kids on the field. To see his kids running down the tunnel after the team ran out, and falling down on the ground and getting up and running, and then being in the stand. The football is just so much bigger than just football itself, but just the whole in general and the crowds and everything.
The crowd was good.
I will say this: Forney's band brought it.
They're legit, aren't they?
They brought it. They were loud. They were rocking the house, man. They did really good. And Forney, they do concern me a little bit. Royce City's DBs. They let a couple big passes.
Well, I think when you're facing a running back like that,
Exactly.
you've got to focus on him,
Right.
and you got to say, okay, if we're going to get beat, we're going to beat by this quarterback, if you fall asleep for just a second, that'll happen. And this is the most passing yards that Forney quarterback has had all year.
Right.
And so it's they're heavy dependent on their running game, and so if you can figure, we talked about it, if you can figure out a way to slow him down, and he's going to get his yards, but if you can figure a way out, then and you can continuously put points on them and make them chase it by using the running game, Forney's going to be in trouble. But this was a game, and I was trying to get it. I was trying to watch it. I could not. I was texting y'all like crazy because at the Rockwall game, I was like, where can I view it? And I think it might have been on NFHS, which I don't have a subscription anymore, but I could not find it. But
man, it was so odd though, man, because I'm not impressed with the referees at all. They had long delays.
Look, whoever
between
won,
plays.
whoever lost, it didn't matter. We were there to watch a football game. People complain about the refs. They really do. But I'm going to tell you right now, that was the absolute worst crew that I've ever seen. I have seen better refereeing at a 5U flag football game on Saturday morning by a couple of kids they pulled out of the stands.
So they may not get the call for the playoffs.
They had no clue what to do. They had no clue what the rules were. Every time a flag was thrown, 8 people had to come together to make a decision. This game lasted 3.5 hours because of that.
It was very, very weird. You couldn't build up momentum. You couldn't get on a roll, and they were just long delays. And then, again, penalties for Roy City still got them a little bit.
Yeah, they did.
And
they did.
so, but it was just a really odd. But Roy City is right there. Forney is, and J.O., man, he is good. He's very fast, very shifty.
So much fun to watch.
And we talked earlier, if he gets past the linebacker, you might as well give it up because the chances of him taking it to the house are very, very good.
Yep.
If you're going to try to go one-on-one with him, I would say he's going to beat you 90% of the time. The dude is just that shifty and that fast.
They ran it 31. He ran it 31 times. That's a lot of carries in a high school game.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's really.
And I'll go to the Roy City side, and I'm going to tell you right now, that quarterback you guys have got has got a good head on his shoulders. He looks like he is very, very, very comfortable in that backfield, and he makes some good decisions. He makes good, crisp passes. Mm-hmm. He doesn't throw the ball just slinging it everywhere. I tell you, I was very impressed. I would go watch another game just to watch that kid play. He was that good to me.
Well, like I said, man, I think Roy City's right there.
They beat Legacy. We might as well call it what it is. Legacy's horrible this year. They're going to – you got them Friday night.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
They need it obviously, and they're to get back in this thing. And we talked about if they drop it, if they drop one to Forney, they're going to have to at that point they're going to have to figure out a way to beat a Longview. And then maybe upset. They're gonna have to upset one of the Heath or Forney teams to get back in this.
Right.
If you look at kind of the way it shapes out, I mean, if you and I don't expect this, but if you're just saying, okay, how does is there a team that's going to let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, if they're gonna go 2 and 4. Does a 2 and 4? Is there going to be a couple of 2 and 4 teams out there, or is 3 and 3 the number to get that last spot?
Well, it was 3 and 3 last year.
Yep.
2 and 4 didn't make it, and I'd expect the same this year. Just how it plays out.
I think that's the way it was when Peyton was in there. I think you had to get the third win.
Yeah, and so for Roy City, it starts with Tyler Legacy, and then they've got to go to work, and they got to figure out a way. I think if you're Roy City, and we're going to talk about Longview here in just a moment, but I think at the moment of the 3 at the top, North Forney, Heath, and Longview, Roy City's got to figure out a way to beat Longview, and then see what happens with the other two if they want to get if we're talking 3 and 3's right. the number to get in there. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, listen, Roy City's going to be in every ball game. They're going to be a problem. They're going to because their ability to score points, and they have shown that they can stop the run. It's a little different when you're playing, Forney, and you got a running back like that. It's a tall task. Do they if they played, 5 times. Can they hold that running back to under 200 yards? Maybe. And if you do, you're in that game.
If you hold him to under 200 yards, you win that game Friday night.
Yeah.
Well, and that's true.
I think.
Yeah, that's true. But, I think
because it opens so much up for the
Yes.
passing.
Yes.
I think that's kind of what kind of makes up this district, though. It's good and bad, right? If you can figure out a way to get in the playoffs, you might be banged up because you're beating each other up every single week.
point.
Or if you go in healthy, you're well prepared for the playoffs because you've played good teams every single week.
Exactly.
So, interesting.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where Roy City goes from here. They got a big one. They got this is a must-win versus Tyler Legacy this week, and we'll see what happens. They played good ball. They're just again. We talked about Roy City. Maybe they're a year ahead of schedule, half a year ahead of schedule. They're right there. They've just got to figure out a way to put some games away, and it's got to start this week with Tyler Legacy.
Yep.
And it's
They
senior
have to
night
beat
too, by
Legacy.
the way. I think it's senior night on Friday. I think I could be wrong. It's something special going on. I think it's senior night, but I would expect them to be on fire this week.
Well, Legacy's coming in this week after getting just completely thumped 2 weeks in a row. So
Yeah. So
we'll see how they come off of that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, Roy City and Legacy, their path to 0-2 has looked completely different,
Yes,
in my
exactly.
opinion.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so I think the Bulldogs are going to be a tough out, and like Chris said, they may play spoiler in this district when everything the dust settles. So we'll see. Let's talk about Rockwall Longview. This was a game. Again, because Longview's so far away and we don't see them a lot, we know about who that program is. And but when you look at the number of players that they lost a few All-State linebackers. They lose their running back, who was All-World. They got a quarterback who comes in and takes over during the playoffs last year. They're playing for Coach King, and
who was on the field.
Who was on the field? Yeah,
Friday
he was there. But you still don't know what you had. They haven't put up these huge monster offensive numbers. And at that game, and Chris, I'll let you start off before I'll tell you what I saw. But it was right there, 28-21. The Rockwall scores, and then boy, Longview just kind of did what they came to do.
Yeah, it was I think everybody who watched the game would say that's not how Rockwall wanted to start the game. Spotted them 7 points on a botched, special teams play that Longview ran back. So it was 7-0 real quick, and then, 14-0 just right away. And that's not the way you want to start. It was a tough way to start. Got them off the game plan a little bit, I think. But if you look after the first quarter, it was. Longview had 14 points in the second quarter. Rockwall had 13. Played to a tie in the third quarter, and then there was only one touchdown by each team, and Rockwall got a 2-point conversion in the fourth quarter. So, it was a closer game than maybe the 14-point score led. But, I said it last week, Longview just figures out how to reload every year.
Yeah. Yep.
They've got athletes, they've got size, they've got speed. And you saw that last week. Very physical, very physical. And, if you watched a lot of the game, it wasn't anything flashy. It was old school lineup, I formation, running back, tailback, and we're running it right or left, and good luck stopping us. And it was really physical, football, which we said last week, and it's what it was.
And Longview's one of those teams you just can't make a mistake.
You can't make a mistake. You've got to play a very solid game. There was a couple of drives that Rockwall had that were very long drives, sustained drives, move the ball down the field. One ended up in I believe it was a missed field goal where, got tackled on the 5-yard line and couldn't push it in, and then another one interception right at the end zone. So, there was a couple, you don't want to make excuses, but there was a couple of plays in both sides of the ball that really could have made that be a 14-point swing the other way.
Right.
I think I keep going back to if these teams played 5 times. I think these teams would split, and that you could see them. One's gonna play their game plan out and not make any mistakes, and they're going to win by 14, and the other one's going to do the same thing in the other game. Special teams plays a big part of it. Turnovers in the second half play a huge part in games like these. But give Rockwall credit. They hung in there, and it's just that last drive that Longview had with 9:40 to go or whatever
and I think
it was.
they took almost 6-7 minutes off the clock just running the ball, pounding it. Just eating the clock up.
Yeah,
Smashing out football.
That's what
it
was.
was. It was Daryl Johnston and Emmett Smith, and just lining up in the backfield and handing off, and the fullback runs in there and blows it up, and the running back gets his yards. And they just kind of chewed it up that way. And for Rockwall, I think just looking at the standings again at 1-1, at the moment, just kind of the way it stands, I mean, it's going to come down to that Forney game.
That's a big game.
Next Friday is a huge game, because that team at the moment is going to have a leg up when we start talking about playoffs with just 4 weeks to go after that or something like that. That's going to be a huge one, because obviously one of these, North Forney or Heath, one of them is going to drop, is going to have a loss in the column, and then Longview with Forney. I mean, Forney's boy, what a tough stretch. I mean, with Royce City, and now you've got Longview back to back. I mean, those are two tough games, and it'd be interesting to see what happens. And we'll talk about that in the preview in just a moment. Listen, Rockwall.
And look, before you go, you could flip the standings, right? If Forney figures out a way to upset, now you flip it. Forney goes on top, Longview falls to 1-1.
It'd be interesting to see how Longview does trying to stop Osborne, because Rockwall struggled running the ball compared to how they've been doing.
Yeah.
And that Longview's defense is going to be prepared for that. They've got the size. They if you watch some of the game, the intricacies, they had a rotation on defense. They had some bigger physical defensive linemen they would rotate in on expected running downs, and more speed went on a suspected passing down, and they were really ahead of the play calling.
What was Longview's rushing in that game?
It was they had Longview had 47 rushing attempts for 265. So I mean, that again, 47 rushing attempts for 265. That's only 5 yards a carry. That was their game plan. We're pounding the rock.
Yeah.
So who can handle that? Can Heath hold up to that? Can they handle that? Can North Forney hold up to that?
I think we'll see. I think we'll know the answer to that question after Heath and North Forney play this week.
I do too.
That's
going to be a really.
I think we'll have a different picture.
That's going to tell us a lot. Longview and Forney are not strangers, because they were in the same district for years.
You're right.
Got moved up at the same time, and Longview and Forney used to play pretty tight. So I don't know. You tell me about the lineman on Longview. You saw the running back. What do you think? It's not just smash it up the middle, though. If he gets around the edge, bye.
No, he's too fast.
He's
too
too
shifty.
fast.
Yeah. Longview has the speed to make it interesting. So it'll be a good game. I think we'll get a lot more every week. We're going to get more and more questions answered, but that's a good matchup.
Yeah, and I know obviously Coach Brooks and they would have loved to go into a bye with a win right there, but I think if you're going to drop one, a bye is a good time to go into it so that you can kind of reevaluate and look at some things. And it could just have been where it's like sometimes it's just a matchup thing, and it just didn't match up well that night for whatever reason. Again, we're talking about a special teams deal that happened early on in that game, and we're talking about an interception that was probably around there. I think they were around the 10-yard line.
It was right at the goal line.
Yeah, it was right there. So I mean, it's just a couple of plays that go either way.
Right.
And so I think if you're Rockwall, at least from my perspective, they're still right there. We know they've got a solid team. They've just got to make the plays, and now it just kind of the flip side of it is it highlights this Forney game coming up. It's they need to put a stamp and get a big win in this district, and not to diminish the Royce City win, but they're a younger team coming up, whereas Longview and Forney with their running back. I mean, if you can stop that running back and get a win, that kind of cements you in this district and says, okay, we're one of the top.
It's. I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but it's interesting because this season in district is already kind of mirroring what happened last year, and I mean every week, so.
Yeah.
Last year, Rockwall didn't hang with Longview like we wanted. Had the bye week, came out in the first half of the Forney game. I think it was a 4 or 5 score game that Rockwall was up top. Now the end result was a lot closer.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It was a crazy
you
ending,
talk.
yeah.
They came right out after the bye week and was ready to go. And I expect the same thing in 2 weeks. But we'll worry about that down the road. But not what you wanted as a fan, obviously. But I still think I'm still feeling the same about the team and their capabilities, but you've seen the margin for error in this district is very slim by any team.
Right, which is why it was important to get that Royce City win right out the gate. And you have a win. You just got to figure out a way to get 2 more wins. That's not the goal for Rockwall. They still want to win district. They still want to do some things, but they're not by any means out of this thing at all. They're one of the top teams fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah, and they still have North. They haven't played North yet, have they?
No, North Forney's the last game.
And Heath hasn't played North yet.
That's
this weekend. This weekend.
Longview hasn't played North yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You take those 3 teams beat them, you completely twisted the standings completely around.
Right.
Now North is down here fighting their way to get back in.
Right.
Well, and think about what you said about the special teams. That's so uncharacteristic of Rockwall to have a lot of special teams mishaps. So
they had a blocked field goal too, which
you guys had what 2 or 3 the other night?
Yeah,
extra
so
points. I just couldn't believe it.
Uncharacteristic of Rockwall, because that's really what they've always been very ahead of their time on special teams.
And you expect Coach Young to get that fixed and ready over the bye week and be ready to play.
Saturday morning,
wouldn't shock me at all for Rockwall just to come out on fire versus Forney. But at the end of the day, Forney, you got to stop their running back, and if you can figure that out, then I don't see any reason why you can't beat them until shown otherwise. That's the key to Forney. So we'll see what happens with them. And then really quickly, we'll preview. I'll flip over to previewing the week 7. But before that, I mean, North Forney just destroying Tyler Legacy really wasn't a surprise. They've been destroying everybody. I'm really interested to see them face some adversity and be tested.
Yes.
And that's really that's why I'm looking forward to. It's our open air wealth management game of the week. Heath will travel to North Forney. I'm really that's one of the games I'm just interested to see. Both offensive seems like we're just going to score when we want to. Let's see who makes the big plays on defense, who has the turnover, who has the special teams, play that they can turn things around. It's really is one of the things that I think is going to go a long way to deciding a district champion. When we talk about if we see teams beating up on each other, you look at tiebreakers, and this is a big one.
This is a big game this week. This is a big game for Royce City and Tyler, and it's a big game for Heath and North Forney, because one's going to break through and one's going to move up to the top.
I think we're going to see North Forney against one of the better defenses they faced, obviously coming up this week, because if you look at the teams they played, they haven't been strong defenses.
Great.
So are their numbers a little inflated or not? We're going to find that out. And in the Tyler Legacy game, it was what 21-10 or so at half. I mean, it was close, and then they went on a tear in the third quarter. I mean, they scored 50 points in the second half. Whew. So, again, are we talking maybe like we did with Forney and Royce City? Is there a little bit of the wearing down factor? North Forney has some big kids, big size, and maybe Legacy didn't have the depth. I think Heath has the depth, so it's gonna answer a lot of questions.
Well, I thought at the beginning of the year that North Forney, if they didn't have any meltdowns and they were able to keep their head on, then they could be a real force to be reckoned with. And up to this point, they've been able to do that.
But
so,
they have not had any adversity yet. They have not had anybody test them. We've seen what happens when they get tested. They got 3 games left that they're going to get tested.
I expect a shootout. I expect a 40, 50s to 40s game. I expect, and sometimes I think Matt Stepp from Dave Campbell's, he made a post, and I'm not even going to come close to what he said, but he was basically saying, just because you see 2 offenses go wild, and that does not mean that the other team doesn't. These teams don't have defense. It just means that their game plans and what they're doing on offense is so good that your job is not to shut them out. Your job is to slow them down, force a turnover, force a mistake late to separate yourself, to try and get that 10-point lead, in the fourth quarter somehow, so that you put more and more pressure where they make a mistake. And that's what it's going to be interesting to see. I know you're really high on Heath. I was big on Heath last year. I thought because of their defense, came into this year feeling the same way. Rockwall surprised me with coming in with the defense. And so for this one coming in, I wouldn't be shocked if Heath gets beat up on defense and Legend Bay finds his way. I mean, the guy having 4 touchdowns every single week for North Forney, it seems like. So it's not going to surprise me for North Forney to come out and lay 40, 45 on Heath, because I think their offense is that good. It won't change my mind on what I think of the Heath defense, just like it doesn't change my mind of, okay, I've seen the Rockwall defense for a few weeks against some really good teams. They got beat, by just a really solid program with a good game plan and a special teams mistake. I still think Rockwall has that defense, just like no matter what happens in this game, I think Heath is still one of the top teams in this league. Can they keep up on the points? Can they
I think the story of that game is going to be the Heath offense versus the North Forney defense.
Well, let me say this too. I got 2 things on North Forney. If North Forney, if they lose by a field goal or a touchdown, but they keep their head on and they play a good game,
different.
That's one thing. I don't know that that's necessarily a big loss. It is a loss in the win-lose column, but I think
it's how you lose.
Yes.
Right?
Now, if they come out and they beat Heath by however many points and they keep their head on straight and be professionals, I think the district might be put on notice.
Yes.
So this is interesting.
Because they've been building. North Forney's been building a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting their respect from the state rankings, which, however much you want to put into that. But I mean, certainly they're doing everything that if you play a team that's not very good, you're supposed to destroy them. They're doing all those things.
They have some talent too. The last realignment. Remember, there was a number of kids that were in the Horn program that moved to North Forney.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Legend Bay and that group that are seniors now. So that's a lot of their talent right now. And that team gave Heath and Rockwall and others trouble at times. They have some talent.
They did.
And I'll say this about Heath, and I don't know if the fans of Heath may not like me saying this or not, but Heath just reminds me of the blue collar, go out there, go to work, and just work the full shift and just stay steady and just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, minimize mistakes, and just do your job. And it's proven to be successful for them that they've put up win after win after win, and it's because they just go out there and they just stay consistent and solid, and they just keep punching.
Well, you're looking at excuse me, you look at North Forney, they're 6-0, but I just don't think they've seen a defense yet. I mean, Forney,
and that's what Chris said.
Forney was good. I mean, I watched the Forney North Forney game, and Forney's defense, God love them, they're not as good as Heath. They're not as good as Rockwall. They're not as good as Longview's defense. And I don't think he's run into that yet.
Yeah, I mean, they played Skyline, they played Plano East, Mesquite, and Mansfield Legacy. They, meaning North Forney.
Right.
Those are teams that they put 50-plus points on, and they should put 50-plus points.
Exactly.
But
I don't. I watched some of the. I watched the Forney defense break through. Their mistakes were not something that Forney was able to take advantage of because North's defense was good. So I'm ready to see what happens when they have those mistakes, and you lose that 15 yards on a sack, or you lose that 10 yards on the holding call, and then you've got somebody that can stand up, and they're not going to give you the third down and 33 touchdown. Let's see what happens when they do that. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think Heath wins by at least 7.
I am high on Heath because I can relate, man. Like I said, they're just a bunch of hardworking dudes, and they just keep at it, and keep at it. And I'm high on them. I'm going to ride them as far as they'll let me ride.
If Forney beats Longview, are we done questioning Forney at that point?
You have to.
You have to. You have to. I don't see it happening, but.
And can one player, and this is no disrespect to the other kids at Forney. It takes an offensive line. It takes coaching. It takes the tight ends blocking. It takes wide receivers working and blocking.
And they do, by the way.
Yeah, but
oh yeah.
But is if Forney can beat Longview, we're done with the talk of Forney being like, I don't know, that they only have one player. At that point, they're a complete team. We got to say, and they can win ball games.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think so too, and it'd be interesting to see if anybody can match up with Longview, right? So this is a big game this week, big game.
Yeah, they're going to be big every week.
This district is fun this year.
It is fun.
I mean, you take Legacy out, but this district is fun this year.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't predict the Royce City Legacy game. I've been unsuccessful the last 2 weeks. I'm not doing it this week. You're welcome, Royce City. I'm staying out of it.
Okay, I'm going to tell y'all right now.
You guys
Royce
do your
City,
thing.
You guys come out and get your win this week.
Is
James
Forney,
Branch will buy your
Is
meal.
Forney on the road?
Let's see.
No, I think they come to Rockwall comes here.
No, Forney. I'm talking about the Forney Longview game.
Forney is at Longview.
At Longview.
And Longview at Longview is virtually unbeatable.
Yeah.
So I think we should just go ahead and call it what it is.
Let's just keep it close, boys.
That Longview's going to.
I saw two teams
that
I saw two teams that like to run the ball, and so I'd be interested to see if there's a lot of points in this game. It's just who's going to make the mistakes. But I guess what I'm saying is, man, I've been questioning and kind of throwing Forney to the side, and they just kind of impressed me the other night with their win when you look at the stats and following y'all's tweets and following y'all's text messages.
That Forney defense is solid. That little linebacker they got, number 4, he is a beast. Yeah. So, and their corners are good. Their corners are much better this year than they were last year.
Well, I think the key is, again, we said it last week, if they can hold J.O. to 100, 150 yards, I think they're okay.
Who did Forney? Forney lost to.
They beat us.
Why did I have them at 1-1? Who did
they lost the first week to North Forney.
Yeah. Oh, to North Forney. That's right. And it was a
35-14.
Yeah, closer game.
Somewhat close.
Somewhat close.
It was a sloppy, close game in the first half, and then they just too many mistakes, just brain farts and shooting yourself in the foot.
But they improved on that. If you
notice.
They improved.
They did.
Yeah.
So, now towards the end of the game, maybe not. I don't know. But I left before that was over with. But
I can't talk about the last 48 seconds.
I don't understand that. But again, they cleaned up a lot. So.
Yeah. Give me Heath over North Forney in an absolute shootout, and one that we'll talk about. One that's going to be like, wow, what an absolute game. You got to give Longview their due. They're playing at home. I think I've kind of disrespected both Longview and Forney this year. Longview I just didn't know enough about, so I was just kind of giving some credit to some other teams. But Forney, obviously I wasn't sure they had the offense to keep up with Royce City, and they had the running game on. If you get that kind of running production, it's going to be hard to see anybody beating that if you get a kid that rushes for 300. So it'll be interesting to see this week. This week, as every week seems like is going to tell us a whole lot. The best place to be in this district sometimes is on a bye, and Rockwall's on a bye. So
Yes, it is.
they don't have to
Yes,
worry
it
about it.
is.
They
Yep.
can just watch everybody and do some scouting and
Do
get
some
healthy.
scouting and get healthy. And I think we've been fortunate. All the teams in the district are fairly healthy.
Fairly
you know,
healthy, yes.
we
Yep.
haven't had any, big time injuries, and so that's good to hear and
Yep.
good to see. So
by the
see
way,
how it plays out.
How is the kid that got hurt the other night? I'm sure. I mean, it scared me to death because as soon as this kid hit the ground, they were bringing the cart out, and I'm thinking, oh my God, his neck or his leg or something. But
Sounded like a broken hand. I haven't heard an update on him, but
boy, scared me to
And
death.
again, long delay, man, and for obvious reasons there, right? They took a lot of
to start
precautions.
the game before you ever got off the field. So hold on.
I know it. It was just so weird, so odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad to hear he's okay though. That one really got me.
Well, we got a big one this week. We got some big games, as 10-6A is big every week, and we'll see what happens, and then we'll get to talk about Rockwall and Forney following that next week, and we'll go from there. So
Another good game,
guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for standing by while we were letting the Special Olympics on and things like that. That was awesome.
we should have him on again with all of us.
Well, we're gonna have to, because Scott has been messaging me, and Scott's like, I was supposed to be on. And I told him that it's like, yeah, when Special Olympics comes on, you're gonna come on, and they come on, and I'm like, oh no, Scott.
You're
but
in
he had to
trouble now.
work. He had to work. He said, and so, but he was sending me messages. So
You haven't mentioned the greatness of Josh Hoover's passing.
yeah,
Guys, come on.
boy, that
was some throws, wasn't it?
he made some incredible throws, and he is golly, it was awesome to see him have bounce back after
Yes.
some fourth quarter turnovers against Arizona State, and that's going to be that Big 12 is going to be fun.
Now, did you catch the underlying theme? Has it tied back to high school football in that game? Josh Hoover and the quarterback from Colorado, the year that Heath lost in the playoffs, who was the quarterback
At
that knocked
Cedar
him
Hill?
out at Cedar Hill.
That was the quarterback?
That was the matchup.
Well, good.
And
We got
I can't
robbed
believe
on
they
that
didn't
game.
pick that up.
Wow.
We
But
got
yeah,
robbed in
there's
that
always
game.
a connection.
I did not know that. And
Yep.
I tell you what, that was I remember they played that game inside the baseball stadium.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
The new stadium for the Rangers,
old stadium.
the old stadium.
Yeah.
It was a weird setup, but man, what a game!
So he was the Cedar Hill quarterback that year.
Wow. I'll never. I'm telling you, the amount of college athletes and D1 athletes they had on that Heath team, they win that game, they win state. That was they were so good that year, but that's pretty cool. I did not know that. Yeah.
Holding on the wide receiver on the half-foot line. Come on.
Yeah, I'm
Come
sure.
on.
I'm sure him and Josh connected. I have to think after that game, but that's wow, that's
Such a good
it's a
game.
cool little nugget there. Yep. Chris Pena, James Ranch, Chris Moore, Kevin Wingfield. We are more than just a game. We are live here at Rockwall Ford. That's going to do it for us. Good luck to all the teams out there. We will be out at North Forney to watch the Hawks come in and hopefully pull out a win. Nothing against my Forney folks, but I am here to ultimately support this county. Royce City's included in this county in my mind, so we'll see what happens.
Better be.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm hey, you know me. I support the Bulldogs, Coach Colvin.
Well,
and
hopefully,
all
I'll
those
be
guys.
at the Legacy game. I hope.
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for us. Y'all have a good week, and we will see you on game day. Dax MVP?
No.
No,
Sorry.
but come back player of the year maybe.
Let's talk about it next week. How about that?
Yeah, we'll see. They're gonna beat Carolina. They're gonna beat Washington. And then after that, we'll see what happens. And after that, Jerry's gonna go make a big trade. And
If he can afford it without flipping somebody off.
Well, that's true.
He may not have any money after that.
Yeah. We do not endorse that on this show.
He'll
Jerry,
just reach in his front pocket and get it.
Jerry is banned from this show.
We've suspended him for at least a week.
You're not parking in our parking lot now.
Maybe that's why he didn't call you this week. He knew you wouldn't let him
Too
on,
much
so
controversy around Jerry Jones this week. We cannot have that kind of
He's not
stuff
drinking
going
a
on.
Coke this week. Obviously, they didn't call for sponsorship either.
We're working on it. Emails have been sent. Just keep getting rejected. So have a good night. We'll see y'all on game day. Thanks for tuning in.